It's official as we have a brand new report that has just dropped surrounding the Lakers and one particular player that not only has huge implications going forward, but changes the outlook of the way that not only this rest of the offseason unfolds, but also the entirety of this upcoming year into the future of this team. We're going to write down this exact report and discuss what it means going forward. Not only that, we have a bunch of other Lakers updates, including one in particular you're going to want to stay tuned till the end for. But before we get into it all, folks, if you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been truly unbelievable, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. You guys have been absolute beasts. Folks, a lot to go over today, and obviously a bunch of new reports have dropped surrounding the future of Hachimura that Hunter covered yesterday, and a lot of new things are starting to unfold. Hopefully trades are on the horizon for this team, but they have already made a pretty big splash this offseason with Ayton and Smart. But a new report has dropped surrounding someone that hasn't been talked about a ton lately, and that is Austin Reaves. And Jovan Buha, very notable reporter, came out and says that not only does Austin Reaves want to be a Laker for life, but that he is expected to sign a long-term deal worth over $30 million per year. Folks, this is a huge report for multiple reasons. We've heard rumblings of the fact that Austin Reaves wants to be a Laker for life. We've heard rumblings about how much money he's going to make, and that, there's some rumblings for a while, 40 million. I mean, that obviously wasn't going to happen. Some, 2025, also pretty low. 30 million, according to Mr. Buha, is what the Lakers are, quote, penciling, or that the people are, quote, penciling the Lakers in for Austin Reaves at around $30 million and wants to be a Laker for life. So this is pretty interesting. And I want you to let me know down below if you think this is too much. And I'm going to dive into the pros and cons and, of course, the whole, shebang here surrounding Austin Reaves. But this is very good news because at the end of the day, if you've been watching the channel for a while, I'm not necessarily the biggest Austin Reaves, fan. I think he's a fantastic player, but I'm not like one of the people who are super, super high on Austin Reaves. But $30 million, especially with the way the cap is going and things like that, is a very good deal. And there's some interesting, stats I want to break down with you today. So you can see this here. His current contract is $13.937 million for 2025 and 2026, and then a player option in 2026. So after this upcoming season, which he will, of course, bearing some catastrophe, he will opt out of, and then he will hit, free agency. You can see here, it's been previously reported that late in the 2021 draft, Reaves informed teams they didn't want to be selected because he wanted to sign with the Lakers. And of course, the gamble paid off. We all know about his story. But looking at his stats, he has improved each and every year. And even after a little bit of a, down stretch this season after Luka was acquired, he very quickly found his footing and ultimately finished the year averaging 20 points a game, shooting 46% from the field and 37% from three. The big question mark, of course, will be, and clearly it's been answered at least from, Austin Reaves' side, and according to Jovan Buha, perhaps even the Lakers side, that the Lakers believe that Austin Reaves can be a, perfect fit alongside Luka Doncic going forward, because that's what this team is preparing for now. Outside of, potential trades they make between now and the start of the regular season at the trade deadline, maybe for rentals, pending free agents, all these different things, they are now building around the beast that is Luka Doncic. He is signed for the long term, and he's probably going to sign even more beyond that. He signed that 3-year deal. Beyond that, you are looking for players to build around Luka. You got DeAndre Ayton on that 1-year deal. Maybe they, factor him into the future. But right now, with LeBron James' future up in the air, it's really, Luka Doncic and then who you can surround him with. And right now it's Austin Reaves is kind of the next budding, star on the side. And his name was brought up, like the report says here in the article, in trade rumors this summer, but it was pretty clear after a while, maybe, that the Lakers were interested in keeping him. I still don't think it's out of their own possibility. If things go, haywire a little bit, if maybe the fit doesn't work great, things can obviously change. But looking at some of the other shooting guards and where, it all could, stack up. Currently, Miami Heat guard Tyler Hero ranks at this moment 13th among guards, in 13th among shooting guards at his $30 million AAV, just behind Orlando Magic guard Jalen Suggs at $30.1 million. Now, Jalen Suggs is getting paid a hefty amount of money, but given the NBA's rising salary cap, it's possible Reaves could push for $32 million AAV, which would tie CJ McCollum and Jordan Poole. You see all these names, like none of them I don't think are better and going to be better than Austin Reaves. You could argue, Tyler Hero, Jalen Suggs is a very good defender. McCollum, Jordan Poole, neither of those guys really move the needle for me. I would love to. I think this is a fair offer at 30-ish. If you're starting to push yourself into 35, then it makes, a little bit less sense. But clearly they're planning now to build around Doncic and Reaves. And that's what I want to ask you guys. Do you think that's a good idea? Obviously, Austin Reaves is an absolute animal. He really, the Lakers took a flyer on him. He's improved every single step of the way. And at the end of the day, the Lakers, they can help each other. According to the reports that he only wanted to be drafted by the Lakers. Lakers obviously, didn't have their hands forced to sign him, but clearly, they got a little bit of a free signing in that front. But they obviously had to do the scouting, all these different things. He is a great pick. He was a great, rather, pick regarding a player to sign. He obviously wasn't drafted, undrafted. At the end of the day, he is such a useful asset to this team, and I think he can fit alongside Luka. Is it going to be seamless? Maybe not. He's obviously was used to playing off the bench for the first half of his career, let's say, and then slowly but surely started to get his way into the starting lineup. We saw him start and play a lot of games last year, of course, and started every game last year, but playing a lot of time at the point guard position, which yet again is another interesting facet. He's not going to play point guard anymore. Maybe he runs the one with some of the backup units, but at the end of the day, he really developed as a facilitator as his career went on. And you look at some of the, the lineups here, specifically, that you can run with, of course, you can run with the Lakers and Austin Reaves. Starts to make things interesting, rather. Here's the correct, depth chart. You have Doncic, Reaves, Rui, LeBron, Ayton. I've been on record. Will they start Reaves? Will they maybe have Marcus Smart on? Will they, move Rui Hachimura to the bench? That's obviously a question for JJ Redick as the season either goes on and as, training camp in the offseason, and preseason gets underway. I think at the end of the day, though, it is a great fit. And I think, you can see this here. The Lakers need a secondary ball handler and creator next to Luka. It's probably not going to be easier to get somebody else than extending, Reaves. That's the easiest way, is by extending Reaves. And getting Reaves at $30 million, second paragraph, means that the Lakers will be paying their two best players nearly $80 million in the season after this upcoming one. The positive is that their books are nearly clean beyond that, and they must use Reaves' low cap hold to build up the roster in the summer of 2026. This is their chance to immediately jump into title contention with a roster that complements Doncic and Reaves. And that's what it comes down to, right? They clearly don't think bearing someone else coming up and becoming available that they have a better chance at replacing Austin Reaves. And obviously, I don't think they're going to trade him. Maybe at this deadline, we might hear some things. They could, this offseason still technically, but all reports and all signs are pointing to Mr. Reaves being a Laker for life. And at the end of the day, it is confirmed that they are going to be offering him at least $30 million. And it's also confirmed that Austin Reaves himself wants to remain a Laker for not only the foreseeable future, but for life, which is obviously pretty exciting if you're a Lakers fan, I think. But let me know down below, do you want to see Reaves, on the Lakers for life? Do you think he's worth that $30 million price tag, or do you think they should pursue someone else? Now, a couple of things before I wrap up here. Saw a new article drop saying that the Lakers Insider, has praised Rob Pelinka for pulling off an impressive trick in summer moves. Basically saying that by getting a bunch of buyouts and not having to, trade any assets, he did a fantastic move. You can see here, he was able to do something impressive over the offseason, bringing 3 talented players without giving up future assets to get them. I agree, but I want to bring up this because I want you guys to let me know down below what the grade is for your offseason for Rob Pelinka. Let's assume that there's no other moves, and let's assume following the Luka Doncic extension, Marcus Smart signing, DeAndre Ayton signing, Jake LaRavia signing, what do you grade it? I'm giving him an A- right now. It started to get higher and higher simply because Luka Doncic obviously extended, and I count that towards it. But also, you got so many good players for nothing as it pertains to actual assets. And a lot of these guys, none of them are really on the books and on the records for a while. And seeing some of the other moves that happen across the NBA, I'm very happy with what the Lakers did. Do I think it's good enough to win a championship? We'll have to see. Still some holes they need to address. Let me know down below what the grade is. You guys are absolute beasts. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.